Hi Capricorn, welcome to your November 2024 general tarot reading. It's Arena here. I always love that one. It's so crazy. Pick an additional card. I'm gonna cut this. I gotta pick an additional card because it's kind of ambiguous when it's a 2. Okay, I'll just leave it there. Alrighty then, let's see what's going on here. The heart of the matter is the Daughter of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. This is a card of the beginning stages of love. This can be a card about children. It could be a specific child, especially a child that is very sensitive, or the subject of children, having children, who knows, something like that. But one of the things that the Page of Cups is about, and this card, in the Rider-Waite deck shows a fish jumping out of the cup, it's connected to Pisces, and it can be about being gullible, about believing lies, and, why does a person do that, and what happens when they do that, how does that serve them? Because even when somebody's doing something that is not really helpful to them, they're still getting some kind of payoff. They're getting some kind of benefit from it, regardless. In the past position, we have the Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, and this card is associated with being bold, adventurous, and maybe a free agent, if you will. So... and this can be about being like, I should say too, about the Page of Cups. It can be about allowing yourself to kind of open up to love again. If maybe you got, like having that innocence that isn't going to be fearful, resentful about someone that you're afraid is going to stomp on your heart, for instance. And the Knight of Wands could be somebody that you've met who is a fire sign and very youthful, or very hard to pin down, maybe doesn't want to commit necessarily. So this could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And Aries is my best bet, because you're both cardinal signs, and even though those two signs square off to one another, the friction they create can be very attractive on a physical level. The higher message, I'm holding it upright, but I drew it reversed, is a Fool card reversed. The Fool card is 0 point. It's the first card. It's even before the Magician card in the Major Arcana. And so in this deck, they depict it as a chick because it represents new beginnings. But when it's retrograding, when it's reversed, it can mean that the person really is maybe resisting change in their life, and because of resisting change, it could be creating a lot of blocking your new beginnings, because here you have the Page of Cups. That's a new beginning too. It's not the exact same thing as the Ace, which is the what's that word that means the catalyst? But it is in the early stages for sure. And so it may be that you're hanging back and trying to see if something is really going to work out, being overly cautious about something because you're afraid of emotional upset. Like I was saying, oh, it looks like I picked this reverse, which is pretty interesting. I guess it doesn't really matter, whatever is the most challenging one, because this is in the challenge position, so it doesn't matter which direction or the card was picked. But this is the Nine of Swords. This is a card of anxiety, which is like, it's such a grotesque picture that it's kind of funny. And it can really speak to issues surrounding fear. It's right below the Page of Cups, fear about trust in love. You may be doing it, but you're still afraid. Sometimes people do things that they're afraid of, and we know that. So you may go for it, but then you may also fear what is going to happen when I go for it. Am I going to regret this? And if this is job related, you may be with the Knight of Wands feeling more adventurous, feeling like less cautious, but you still are a little bit apprehensive whether or not something is going to work out the way that you want it to. And with the Fool card reversed, it could be saying that you're blocking your own power. Well, the word power came into my mind only because I was thinking about Pluto in November going back into 0 degrees of Aquarius, and that's on the 19th of November. So right after that full moon that we're going to have in Taurus, which is going to be in your 5th house of love, we're going to have that. And it could be like, and by the way, the 5th house can be the business that you own. So maybe it's really time for you to take your dreams seriously, some of you. But you might be like, this is totally new for me. I've never done this before. And it makes you feel anxious. And you have to get over that. You have to be able to, try new things sometimes. What's coming in? Another reverse card. I'm going to hold it upright. Father of Pentacles. So it's actually reversed. This is a card that can be, and it's funny because you are kind of the elder statesman of the earth signs, which the pentacles are connected to. And the winter signs, the last 4 signs of the zodiac, in each of the elements represents the kind of supposedly wise versions of each element. And so you are the culmination of what the material resources are all about. And yet, sometimes, depending on other factors, the person could emphasize the wrong things. So, for instance, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, there may be excessive materialism rather than, wanting abundance. That's not the same thing as being excessively materialistic. But the King of Pentacles in reverse, that could even be like, kings can be fathers. If you had a father who modeled this type of behavior to you, it may have rubbed off on you, and not in a good way, where it's like everything has a price. Everything is valued based on its material value, but it's not seen as anything beyond that. And unfortunately, when children are taught that, they can repeat that themselves, And it can lead to people choosing the type of service that they provide to others based on money first and foremost. Remember that the Devil card is connected to Capricorn too, and that can be excessive materialism or downright greed. So it's sad, to sell one's soul for not really money per se. I mean, it is because of money, but this idea of wanting to maybe feel safe, feel successful, and it kind of overtook the person and it became all-consuming. Usually Capricorns are not particularly, it's funny, when I say materialistic, what I mean is they usually are not that consumption-oriented, that they can be very minimalist and, just taking what they need because that's connected to their ruler Saturn, which is about conservation and, bare bones type of mentality. But obviously some Capricorn people are going to be more like spending money than others. There's a word I was looking for, but I can't think of it. Yeah, so reconciling all of that. And the outcome is the Ten of Swords. This is a card of betrayal. And it's also a card of the worst is over. Like in terms of cycles, 10 is like the end of a cycle. So it can speak to things that are coming up for the person or... Yeah, well, not that are coming up, but that are like being let go of. So it could be like wrapping up some sort of cycle that has been painful, has not been, the swords, and of course we have the Nine of Swords here. The swords can be about, oh yeah, you got the Two of Swords. They can be about conflict. They can be about drama. So I picked 2 additional cards. I'm just going to put them to the side because they're hard to navigate here. I'm going to talk about this one first. Two of Swords. The reason I picked another card after this is because this one doesn't really lend itself to closure for the reading, because it's like it just opens up more questions here, because we have the Two of Swords. This can be at the crux of a dilemma or at the crossroads of a situation that you need to make a decision about. So, it could be that you've been dealing with somebody that's like the Knight of Swords, and you've been naive, and you've been thinking that this person will settle down, and they won't, and maybe you began a physical relationship hoping that it would somehow turn into love. I personally don't think that that's how it works. I think that people assume, especially women, that, with men, that that's going to help them, develop a relationship with someone. And I don't know. I don't think so. But, obviously it's a case-by-case basis. But you may feel like you've been had by this person. And with the Fool card in reverse, it could be that, like, maybe you're coming out of a long-term marriage and you haven't really had a lot of experience with other, new partners yet. So it's kind of like something you have to get acclimated to, and maybe you're not ready for it. You kind of jumped into it too soon. So you may have to decide whether or not you're going to continue to date someone, because something may make you realize that that person is not being true. 3 of Pentacles. This is a good card for money, Three of Pentacles. So if you're dealing with some kind of business matter that has been rather stressful, this could be a good omen card. But in the workplace, if that's something where you're a little bit unsure of, Three of Pentacles can be co-workers, teamwork. So that is showing that there is something there. So if you've been, the Two of Swords is whether or not you should leave your job. You may stick around a little while longer because you may feel like, well, at least I have this situation with my coworkers, and it seems to be pretty good right now. And we're really, we really make a good team. And yes, I'd like to start my own business. I'm going to be doing that in my off hours, but I'm not necessarily going to just hope that everything takes off like a rocket ship, because that's not necessarily how it works either. And I'm also, with the King of Pentacles reversed, I'm not going to look at life as everything has a price tag. I'm going to see the value beyond money. Also, the King of Pentacles in reverse could be your boss. And so if you have a boss that's kind of like treating you like you're the cash cow, like you're the one who, like everybody is either making that person money or not, and they're not really looking at the humanity behind the person, that can be really off-putting. But the Three of Pentacles, not that this card is going to, if I hold it up, it's going to really mean anything to you, but the Three of Pentacles can be where you and your coworkers form an alliance, and that can help counter such a person. Okay, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that this spoke to you in some way. If you'd like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. I have package deals where you buy more than one reading that are connected, like transits plus chart analysis, my deep dive reading, for instance, and you get a reduced price. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.